the main city of the Lazio region, the city where the Pope resides, and also one of the oldest cities on our planet, Rome. Not so long ago, scientists calculated the exact date of its foundation, April 21st, 753 BC. Like some other great cities, Rome was developed on 7 hills, the most famous of them being the capital. The Tiber River, of course, flows through the entire city. The Tiber, though, became shallow long ago and lost its role as an important transportation route, which it used to be in ancient times. Although the most interesting sites in Rome are located in the Old City, inside the Aurelian walls, which once marked the boundaries of the city of Rome. Our regular viewers are probably already sitting patiently, waiting for me to show you the Vatican, the Colosseum, and Rome's other world-famous sites. My dear friends, I'll show them all to you within the next 20 seconds. Time me! Piazza Venezia, Piazza di Nizzaga, the Vatican, the Colosseum. Now that we've seen all the major sites, it's time to talk about our main topic. I have no doubt everyone has heard the expression, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Have you ever wondered what that really means? Well, I for one have, and today I'll tell you about it and even show it to you. But first, we need to find some Romans. If you want to find someone in Rome who was born and raised here, look among the taxi drivers, because a Roman taxi driver is like a gondolier in Venice. To become a taxi driver in Rome, your father needs to have been a taxi driver, and your grandfather as well. This is an inherited profession, and unlike in other cities, strangers are not allowed to join it. Signore, what food products are, in your opinion, the symbols of Rome?
I think zucchini blossoms. Food products? I don't even know. Probably cheese. Pecorino Romano, the most Roman one, our main cheese. We have a lot of symbols. Artichokes, for example, cheese, zucchini, of course, meat. You must try all of them now that you've made it to Rome.
It's no secret that Italians are literally obsessed with food, and Romans are no exception. Their whole life is built around the production, procurement, preparation, and consumption of food, although their breakfast is quite simple. Roman lunches and dinners are real feasts. The Romans choose food products carefully and spend a lot of time deciding where do they do it, you might ask. Everyone knows where. Between Piazza Navona and Piazza Farnese, there is a square there that I'll show you right now. By the way, this place is not a simple one. As early as the Middle Ages, this was the hottest point in Rome, in the literal sense of the word. The Romans would build a really big fire here to burn what they didn't like. This is a monument to a man who was burnt at the stake right here in this square. His name is Giordano Bruno. And thanks to our school's curriculum, we all know very well that the guys from the Roman Inquisition burned him for his convictions on this very spot. Oh yes, by the way, remember this once and for all, it wasn't Giordano Bruno who said, "and yet it moves." It was another famous Italian, Galileo Galilei. The most popular food market in Rome is located around a monument to a great Italian philosopher and is called the Campo di Fiori. It's situated on the right bank of the Tiber in the square by the same name. It's within walking distance from the main shopping street of the Italian capital, Vittorio Emanuele II. So you won't miss the market even if you want to. There's a time for fun and there's a time for business. We shouldn't forget that we've come to the main produce market in Rome on a very important mission: to find the main symbols of Rome, taste them, and assess them objectively. Despite the large number of tourists around and changes in the range of products on sale in the market, the symbols are still the same here. For example, here's one of them.
The symbol of Rome is, of course, coppiette.
Coppiette?
Yes, coppiette, sort of strips of meat. I'll show you. This is the most real symbol of Rome. Romans have been eating them since time immemorial. They're very healthy and nutritious, and they're only made from the best meat. First, the meat's dried in the sun. It loses its excess fat, then pepper and wild fennel are added. It's called coppiette. This is the perfect Roman snack. Here you are, Alexander. Help yourself.
Thank you very much.
Boost your energy level with protein for the whole day.
Is this beef?
No, it's pork.
Oh, pork.
Yes, Copiete first appeared in America where there were still cowboys. They had a similar product called buffalo jerky. Cowboys were galloping over prairies, and pieces of dried meat were carried in their saddlebags so they wouldn't have to spend time cooking. Later, Italians adopted this product, and it became a special Roman dish.
And here's what's interesting. While Signore Benedetto spoke, I ate 30 centimeters of dried pork. I'll be honest, it was the best 30 centimeters of my life. La Copietta is a traditional Roman dried pork. 200 grams cost 12 euros or $14. According to our expert panel, aka the production team, Roman dried pork strips get 21 points for affordability, 16 points for originality, and 17 points for usefulness. Its total score is 54 points. Oh, I see a familiar word, zucchini. All my life, I thought the word zucchini was used for ordinary summer squash by Italian restaurants aspiring to seem fancy, but it turns out this wasn't true. All over the world, people eat the, what should I call it, fruit of the zucchini, but it's only in Rome that they come up with the idea of eating zucchini blossoms too. And this is a symbol of Rome too. Like everything else, that's what Giovanni believes.
This is our symbol, no doubt about it. All the locals eat them. They're often stuffed with mozzarella. Sometimes anchovies are added. Or you can mix flour and water. That's called pastella. Then they dip the blossoms in it. Heat oil to 180 degrees, fry them for about 5 minutes, and they're ready. Amazing! You can also make pasta and pizza with them.
The whole world eats zucchini, but no one else eats the blossoms. How did the Romans come up with the idea?
Well, it was a long time ago, during the war. People then were very poor. There was no money, no food. They were hungry and figured out they could eat the zucchini blossoms. And now it has become fashionable. Everyone eats them now.
And here's how zucchini blossoms are eaten. I'll show you. Yummy. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's anything extraordinary. First of all, guys, it's been battered. Secondly, there's cheese inside, and with those two ingredients and after the limoncello, you could even eat the soles of your rubber boots, let alone squash blossoms. Oops, zucchini. Zucchini blossoms at the Campo di Fiore market cost 2 euros or $2.30 per package. Fried zucchini blossoms at a restaurant in the market cost 10 euros or $11.70 for one portion. From our point of view, zucchini blossoms deserve 19 points for affordability, 23 points for originality, and 15 points for usefulness. Their total score is 57. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Good afternoon. Marco.
Nice to meet you.
This is our Pecorino Romano cheese. Please try it.
Let's give it a try.
This is made from sheep milk. It's been aged 1 year.
Pecorino?
Pecorino Romano. Many Roman dishes are cooked with it, like pasta alla matriciana and pasta carbonara. But you can not only grate it and add it to pasta or rice or to salads, you can also eat it plain, as it is.
Well, the taste actually reminds me of classic Parmesan, Parmigiano Reggiano, but this is Pecorino.
Pecorino cheese is made from Roman sheep's milk. Parmesan cheese is made from cow milk from Parma.
Can we say that Pecorino is the main cheese of Rome?
Yes, of course. This is our ancient cheese.
Could you give me a sample of Parmesan and a sample of Pecorino to compare? What can I say? Parmesan tastes noticeably sweet. Inside, there are these granules which crunch between your teeth. They're formed over time, which helps distinguish old Parmesan from young Parmesan. These very granules are particularly appreciated by cheese lovers and connoisseurs. Now let's try Pecorino. There's no pronounced sweet taste. It's a little less salty. Pecorino is more tender. And there aren't those granules that crunch between your teeth when you eat old Parmesan. In general, if you've only recently become acquainted with Italian cheeses, I would actually recommend you start with Pecorino, because real Parmigiano Reggiano can scare you away. The taste is really sharp. Here's my advice. Don't rush to buy the main Roman cheese in the Campo di Fiore market. Follow me and I'll show you where it's best to buy it. For the record, Rome is extremely simple. The Tiber River divides the city into two parts. All the sites are located on one side, like the Colosseum and the Campo di Fiore market, where we've just been. On the other side of the river, there's real life and real markets. And here's one of them. It's called San Giovanni di Dio. The market of the San Giovanni di Dio is located in the south of the Italian capital. The easiest way to get there from the city center from Piazza Venezia is either by taxi or public transport. If you opt for public transport, you should take tram number 8. You'll have to pass through 12 stops to get to the station San Giovanni di Dio, and from there, you'll have to walk another 100 meters to the northwest. It'll take you about 25 minutes. Well, even our less avid viewers have already learned quite well what the difference between a tourist market and a real market is. A tourist market mainly sells goods that you can buy and immediately put into your suitcase. That's why there, you won't find products like the ones that are here. Look, 2 types of clams, or vongole, as they call them here. Black ones and gray ones. It's extremely easy to cook them. Frying pan, a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of white wine, you put vongole in pan, and as soon as they open, add spaghetti and you get a delicious, real Italian dish. And of course, scallops, which we're already familiar with. Rumor has it they were brought from Denmark, and why? Because the locals don't know about Russian Far East scallops. They are tastier, larger, and more beautiful. And the prices here are noticeably lower. I'll prove it to you now. Here it is, our old friend Pecorino Romano. If you remember, in Campo di Fiore market, it cost $18.90, and here it is only $13.90. Yes, a €5 difference. What's your name?
Ivan.
Ivan? That's not a very Italian name, is it?
No, but my mom likes it.
Is that your mom?
Yes, that's her.
Alessandro.
Oh, your name doesn't sound very Russian either.
Yeah, you're right. Your name is more Russian than mine. But let's talk about cheese. I see Pecorino Romano here. It costs $13.90. €5 cheaper than at Campo di Fiore. Why? Is it not as good?
By no means. It's just that Campo di Fiore is very popular with tourists, so the prices for products there are a little too high. But our cheese is as good as theirs.
Can I try a piece of cheese?
Yes, of course.
The Brunelli family produces the best Pecorino Romano in Rome. People come here just to buy their cheese. Let's try it. How old is it? A year?
A year or so.
Look, not only does the Pecorino Romano cheese that we tried at Campo di Fiore cost about €5 more, but it also turns out that it doesn't have as rich a taste as the Pecorino Romano made by the Brunelli family, who are friends with Ivan's family, his mother and his grandmother. Here is the whole family. Can we say that this is a gastronomic symbol of Rome?
Yes, of course, this is our #1 cheese.
Pecorino Romano cheese costs €13.90 or $16.20 per kilo in the San Giovanni di Dio market versus $18.90 or $22 per kilo in the Campo di Fiore market. According to our production team, the main Roman cheese gets 20 points for affordability, 13 points for originality, and 19 points for usefulness. Its total score is 52. By the way, unlike in the Campo di Fiore market, in San Giovanni di Dio market, we found another symbol of Rome, something which you can't imagine the local diet without. Do you know what this phlegmatic Italian is doing? He's cleaning artichokes, my friends. The artichoke is a strange vegetable. While I know what they're called, and I've even seen artichokes before, I've never tried them because I always think, why eat artichokes when there's dumplings or sausages? But Romans have a different opinion on the matter. Look, what a handsome guy! What a handsome guy! What kind of person must you be to get up in the morning, put on a bow tie, a white shirt, and a suit, and come to the market? Signore, please accept my compliments. You are very elegant. What is your name?
Claudio.
My name's Alessandro. Signor Claudio, what are those?
These are Italian artichokes. They're grown near Rome, mainly in the area of Ladispoli. It's on the coast.
Signor Claudio, how do you eat them?
They're mostly eaten fried. Just put them in boiling oil for a couple of minutes, or fry them in a pan whole, or cut into slices. You can dredge artichokes in flour or crumb them too.
Are they good for you?
Very good, because artichokes contain a lot of iron. They contain vitamin C and carotene. They're very tasty. By the way, in Rome, they are often cooked kosher style. This is an old kind of recipe. I really recommend you try them.
Thank you very much. Artichokes cost 80 euro cents or 90 US cents a piece in the market of San Giovanni di Dio, and 4 euros or $4.60 per portion in a mid-range Italian restaurant. As for our assessment, we've given artichokes 17 points for affordability, 19 points for originality, and 15 points for usefulness. Their total score is 51. In the first part of the program, we rated the edible symbols of the Italian capital on a 5-point scale in 3 categories: affordability, originality, and usefulness. It's time to deal with the inedible ones. First, let's talk fashion. Wandering the streets of different cities in the world today, you'll never be able to tell what country a person is from just by looking at their appearance. Germans, Finns, Czechs, and Poles all wear the same things: jeans, sneakers, t-shirts. Look, see for yourself. However, if you meet a man dressed as he's just left a photo shoot for a fancy magazine, you can be sure that he's Italian. Signore, where do you buy your clothes? And you? Well, okay, look, even Roman street actors are dressed better than I am. What can I say? Romans are always dressed perfectly. Their sense of style is genetic, which shouldn't be all that surprising when you're surrounded by the masterpieces of Michelangelo and Da Vinci from birth. Want to or not, you'll match. And that's why any Italian, especially a Roman, knows perfectly well that style comes above all else. Please take a pen and piece of paper and write this down. The basis for the classic gentleman's style in Rome is, of course, the suit. It's not a problem to buy a suit in Rome, you know. Well, of course, you can buy something inexpensive and mass-produced, but when we say suit, we mean a nice suit. Here is a good suit right behind me. And Sir Anthony Hopkins agrees. Let's see how much it costs. It costs $5,575. Well, if I were Sir Anthony Hopkins, I wouldn't buy a suit here. I would find Signore Giovanni and Domenico's tailor. My friends, I've always dreamed of visiting a real Italian tailor's workshop and to have 2 real Italian tailors running around trying to please me as I try on a suit. The only thing missing is a cigar and a phone, which I would use to bark orders at my colleagues like you saw many times in the Godfather films or Once Upon a Time in America. Signore Domenico, what kind of suits do respectable people wear in Italy, particularly in Rome?
Double-breasted suit jackets are popular in Rome now. They must, of course, be tailor-made because each of us has his own size.
All right, what if we wanted to compare Italian style to French style? I understand that you don't like it very much, but still.
Style is a common concept for everyone. For the French and for Italians, we are committed to creating personal style. My son and I work specifically for the client, focusing solely on his wishes and his comfort.
Well, guys, I'm already at this stage. I just don't want to take it off, even to let them finish the suit, because it fits, of course, like a glove. putting on a real Italian suit, sewn in a real Italian tailor's workshop, fitted especially to you. It's an indescribable feeling. You really want to sleep in it, and it doesn't even wrinkle, and
Yes, it will fit you perfectly because it's been made with all your parameters taken into account. Right in front of you, you have an example of an excellent suit made to order for Signor Alessandro.
well, I mean, guys, of course, know how to sweet talk their clients. It'll take a couple of hours for them to replace these white threads with real ones, and then I'll get the finished product in my hands. A tailor with nearly 60 years of experience. Just think about it. Signor Domenico and his son, a tailor with 20 years of experience, Giovanni, have been making suits for the best people in Rome for a long time. And not only for people in Rome, people come to them from all over Italy, from all over Europe, and of course from Russia. However, the family tandem doesn't reveal their customers' names, as almost all of them prefer to be incognito. Well, except for me, of course. And now down to business. This suit costs $1,544. And I, as a middle-aged man, believe that at some point in the life of every successful person, a suit like this must be in his wardrobe. Preferably one sewn in Rome and fitted to your figure by the best Roman tailors. That's all I want to say. Well, okay, not all. Don't turn the program off. I'm well aware that $1,544 for a suit is a lot of money. To put it mildly, not everyone can afford it. So if you don't have that kind of cash but still have a desire to bring a high-quality item back from Italy, guys, there is still an option for you. Here it is. Usually in markets, I try to breeze past clothes in a hurry because they're mostly mass-produced goods, and I actually don't find it very pleasant to look at people digging in clothes. But not in Rome. Look, here is your option, guys. A jacket made by a famous brand which starts with a gu and ends with a chi. Yes, you'll have to clean it a little bit, to iron it a little bit, but guys, it's only 90 euros, and you must choose a tie to match. Here, look at this tie. What color? What material? Rumor has it that the mafia wore ties like this around Rome in the 60s. When you hold this kind of tie in your hands, you immediately feel that this was made in an era before the Chinese mastered sewing machines, before everything was made in China. I like it. I'll take it. A real vintage, brand name black velvet jacket costs 90 euros or $105.60. A retro tie of pure silk to match it costs 20 euros or $23.30. The expert commission made up of our production team members assessed the vintage jacket and the retro tie, giving it 10 points. For availability, 22 points, for originality, and 20 points for usefulness. Their total score is 52. Well, you're probably sitting there wondering where I found these wonderful things. I found them, my friends, in a place called Porta Portice, the main flea market of the city of Rome. And with us now is the vice president of this market, Signor Antonio.
Good afternoon.
Could you tell us a few words about the market?
Our market is one of the most interesting sites in Rome. It started immediately after the Second World War. At that time, many other flea markets moved to this part of the city and merged into one big one. In 1959, the market received an official status from the administration of Rome, and I hope in the near future it'll be added to the UNESCO World Heritage List as the largest and most interesting antique market and flea market in the capital of Italy.
Signor Antonio, what should people pay attention to here?
In our market, you can buy anything. Vintage designer clothes at reasonable prices, antique books are sold here, and all sorts of antique household items. Pay attention to vendors selling postcards and posters. I'll tell you how to find them.
The main antique market of Rome, Porta Portice, is located in the south of Rome at the beginning of Portiense Street. From the city center, the easiest way to get here is by tram number 8 or by bus number 3. It'll take you about 20 minutes. The layout of the main antique market in Rome resembles the letter Y. In one of the wings, they sell cheap clothes and shoes, various fridge magnets, keychains, fashion jewelry, and other mass consumption goods. The second part of the market has more valuable items and is more colorful. Here you can find antique furniture, utensils, and all sorts of original souvenirs. That's what you should take back from Rome. These are not your little plastic colosseums and t-shirts with the Pope on them. Here they have posters of great Italian films. We are in Rome, guys! Can you imagine how many films were made here? So I'll show you. Well, The Sweet Life, the great Federico Fellini. God, Marcello Mastroianni, and this actress, I always forget what her name is. Somewhere here I also saw Alberto Sordi, the famous Italian comedian. And of course, Roman Holiday with Gregory Peck and Audrey Hepburn. I'll take it. How much is it?
€3.
€3. A poster of a great film at a giveaway price, €3 or $3.50. Our production team assessed the poster of the great film shot in Rome and gave it 22 points for affordability, 14 points for originality, and 15 points for usefulness, for a total score of 51. Let's summarize. If you're in Rome and you taste, try on and buy everything I've tasted. Try it on and bought. You'll have a complete idea of what the Romans eat and where, and most importantly, where they buy it all. In other words, once in Rome, you'll do as the Romans do. At this very moment, millions of people are buying and selling something somewhere, which means I must go there. My name's Alexander Pryanikov, and this was World Market.
Bo, bo, bo. Bo, bo, bo. Bo, bo, bo.